Welcome to That's So Rad podcast. I'm your host, Travis Vangsnes. This is a podcast about people, their passions, their life experiences, and their stories. As writer Frederick Buechner once said, the story of any one of us is in some measure the story of us all. All of us can learn something valuable from someone else's life and their stories. Join us for another conversation where we learn, laugh, and leave, seeing our own life in new ways. What's more rad than that? Hey, welcome to another episode of That's a Rad podcast. I'm your host, Travis. I'm really excited today to be joined by my son, Dre, who actually he's a guest on this podcast as a gift to his dad. So that's an interesting arrangement here. So recently was Father's Day at the time of this recording, and one of my Father's Day gifts from Dre was to be a guest on Dad's podcast. So Dre, thank you for cashing in this gift to Dad.
Yeah, sure.
And I've got to ask you, trying to gauge like how excited you are to be on this podcast. So how does this rank? Compare this to going to the dentist. I mean, are they neck and neck? Which one would you rather do, be on this podcast or go to the dentist?
I mean, the podcast is pretty fun, and I'm actually gonna enjoy this. I feel like it, but I do love when they scrape your teeth at the dentist. I will be completely honest. It's about 50-50. They scrape your teeth. Yes,
so
I love it.
So you're saying it's about 50-50 between being on the podcast or going to the dentist?
Yes, sadly, yes. But I love the dentist actually.
Okay, well, I mean, that's cool. I didn't know. I know they also give out suckers and stuff. Or do they? I guess, no, they give out
not to older kids. But okay. I've also never had, since I can remember, I've never had a cavity. So I haven't had a reason to be like scared of getting my teeth ripped out. So.
Okay, so that revelation is huge about this because of the fact that you've not had cavities, you've not had crowns, root canals, you haven't had really dental work much, then yeah. I can see where the dentist has been a pretty good experience. Now, if you had all of that stuff and, you know, like you had a root canal or whatever, and you're still putting the dentist over being on the podcast, I would kind of feel more sad.
Oh, no, don't be sad. Don't be sad. I'm going to enjoy this. It's going to be fine.
Well, it's really cool to have you on, and I'm gonna have, this will be a fun conversation. I'd love to have all our kids on the podcast. We have another podcast as well called Cultivate the Ordinary, and we had 3 of our kids on that one. So now you're on this one. We just have one child remaining. So Joelle is up next. So maybe there'll be a gift. Might be my birthday gift is her coming on. So how are you doing today, Dre?
I'm doing good. Just got off work though, so I'm a little tired. Yeah. Or maybe a lot tired.
Yeah, so we're going to learn more about that and what you're up to with work and your life. So I'm going to say that Dre is 18, just graduated high school just this last May. Very proud of you and all your accomplishments. Yeah, you have plenty more to say about yourself, and I'll probably chime in with more stuff as well. But Dre, just set up for those that don't know you, just a quick overview of who you are, anything about yourself.
Well, my name is Vangsnes. I am a strong Christian. I am also adopted, as you can see. And I don't know, I really like food. That's pretty much me. I'm not like ultra interesting or anything.
Oh, but dude, yeah. Crazy interesting, which we're about to find out. So that's a good setup, Dre. I've joked before that so we have Norwegian heritage, like I do, I guess. And then so I had a great grandpa named Ingvald, which is a crazy Norwegian name. And you being Dre, I always thought, wow, that's a pretty diverse family tree to have Ingvald and Dre on the same family tree. So that's kind of a funny
Oh yeah,
family fact.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So you've already alluded to this. You were adopted. And so let's start by setting up just how did we meet? What do you remember?
Uh, I remember like it was way back when I was still at Thornwell at the cottage. Uh,
So, real
you
quick,
were
so Thornwell, real quick, I'm just interjecting because a lot of people don't know what Thornwell or the cottage. So,
oh
you were
my
in
bad.
foster care. Yeah, no, it's cool. You were in foster care and you were at a group home called Thornwell. Go ahead.
Okay. Back then you were really goofy. Like the goofiest person I ever known. You had
Oh my God.
like I wouldn't say weird, but you had some like
You're free
you
to
got
say
us
whatever you want.
engaged.
Okay.
You got us engaged in some things like the mountain biking thing. It was
Mm
fun, but there was this whole Warriors thing, and we all had face paint and decorated helmets. We had a trailer with Warriors drawn onto the side of it, and it was bad though. It was like a decal that didn't work, but
hmm.
like I remember
So,
it was funny.
okay. So, for context, so my wife Jess and I were what they called house parents or family teachers, I guess was the language there. Of essentially, we were in a cottage with elementary boys. Jess and I were, and so Dre, you and your brother Jay, and some other boys that cycled in and out of foster care were in our care, and I think we had up to 6 to 8 boys at a time. And so one of the things I'm hugely passionate about is mountain biking. And so what you alluded to was this mountain bike warriors kind of little group thing we started, where we build trails in the woods and then fix bikes and all that kind of stuff. So that was a memory you have of our time at
Yes.
Thornwell. Yep. So you were actually in foster care for several years. I think you went in twice and then went home and then got back into care and then eventually, part of your story was that you were available for adoption. And so, tell, with whatever you're comfortable sharing, but like, what do you remember about just being in foster care, being at the group home?
Um. Well, I wouldn't say well, it like it was okay. It was all
Mm-hmm.
right. There's a couple challenges, but like everyone kind of understood each other. Like there was a couple fights here and there, but they weren't that bad. And a couple like people did come in and out of foster care and stuff with different
Mm-hmm.
situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the kids were worse off than others were, and some of the kids were going home soon and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. Just keep a level head. I do remember. Uh, I was really bad actually for a little while there. For a little while, I was a really bad kid. It was mainly I remember second grade. I put my terrible teacher through so much, so much. But by third
Mm-hmm.
grade, I feel like I got a lot better, especially like as a person. And that's when I really started seeking God too. So like
Yeah.
I mean that's why it's my favorite teacher was my third grade teacher, Miss Smith. But it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that bad after that point. And before that, I don't remember much, so I can't say if it was bad or not, honestly. But
Yeah.
it was an experience.
Well, well, I mean, and for people that don't really understand, and no one that it is not in your shoes would not understand what it was like to have your story, and kind of dealing with the obstacles and challenges you did, but also just being in foster care. I mean, to be removed from your biological family, to be put in a home, as you said, with other kids who they have their own traumas and hard stories, and you're kind of all there together. I mean, you want to talk about it incredibly challenging. And so when you talk about like you being a bad kid, I look at that as no. I mean, you might have had some behaviors, but my gosh, who wouldn't? I mean, a lot of that was just you probably trying to just figure out like your world and some of that anger or fear came out and maybe moments of rage or just I don't know, like, so yeah, I mean, you got to give yourself some credit too of just like how hard that really was for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of this. Like, I only got into well, let's see, I only got into I think during the duration of the was it like 6 years I was there. I only believe I got into
Mhm.
3 fights with other kids.
Okay.
One of them I didn't participate in. And one of them I didn't participate in personally.
Just got
They tell
broken.
me a different story.
Okay.
I really did, but
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
Eh,
I can see what you mean. It's a
Yeah.
lot better in ratio because the other kids, like like some of them like daily fighters and stuff. I mean,
Daily fighter.
or not. I wouldn't say daily, weekly, maybe,
Yeah.
but like I did my best to stay out of trouble. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it was a probably, you have probably some really great memories of that and some really hard memories. I mean, just being a house parent there, I saw, yeah, just it gave me a glimpse of all the things all you guys had to deal with, and it would have been incredibly hard to say the least. So, so proud of you know where you've been today, and who you've become. So, facing adversity that many adults will have never faced that kind of thing in their life. So it's very, very, very cool. So, do you have a favorite memory of being in the group home, or something you did?
that bike memory was actually one of my favorite memories. But I mean, let me see here. Let me think. I mean, there was tons of things. Like we were in plays with me and my
Hmm.
wait, y'all should know. I did have one sibling with me in foster care. So I did have a sibling, one of my like biological siblings with me in foster care.
Hmm.
But like we did plays, we went to school. School was fun. I had friends, I remember their names, Danielle and Quay. Yeah.
Okay.
Quay, yeah. Those two. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and the
Yeah,
mountain biking was a big part of like what
that's
we did on
awesome.
a daily.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it was awesome. That was yeah, it was a cool outlet. I'm glad that you still love mountain biking, so hey, that's stuck. But yeah, I was excited to do that with you guys. I knew it would be a great outlet, and it was a big hit. I mean, we had a mountain bike race at one point for the whole campus. We had, yeah, like, you guys learned a lot about fixing bikes, and um right? So, like, but anyhow, um so let's move into a um sort of after that. Um it's kind of, we've already both said, like, you've obviously adopted and part of our family. So, um tell us, take us into, like, what was that like? I mean, you knew us because we were your house parents in foster care, so it wasn't just like someone that's just suddenly kind of, in a private adoption situation or something where they've never met the person, um, much until it actually sort of starts to happen. So, but what was it like from what you remember of, um, yeah, sort of, because I think we knew each other for at least 2 years. Is that
Yeah,
probably,
yeah. It was not bad at
maybe
all. I
more?
mean,
It wasn't bad at all.
I
That
would
was,
think more. It like I mean, already met the grandparents, already living in the house, already lived with you for so long. I mean, what was there not to like? What was there to be scared of? I didn't really have nothing. The only problem I could ever remember was when, like my sister, I think it was,
mm-hmm,
Ashanti,
mm-hmm,
she didn't want to be adopted, and that
mm-hmm.
was the only time I ever was like, hey, I don't want to leave Ashanti there because
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was I have quite a few, I like a good bit of siblings, and some of them were still at Thornwell at the time.
yep.
So when Shanti was like, "Nah, I don't want to be adopted. I want to go back," I was like, "I kind of want to
Yeah,
go back, because I don't want to leave you behind."
yeah,
But other than that, there's nothing else.
man. And I'm glad you said that, because I mean, that's another aspect of both foster care and just, kind of the reality of adoption too, is like very few people can I think the sibling separation rate of just going into foster care is up to like 50% of siblings can be separated, which I cannot imagine like growing up and then having your siblings at another home or something. But then on top of that, um, adoption can split siblings too, and you have a huge, really big family and a sibling group. So there's a lot of people that could not adopt that many siblings, but the reality of like what that would be like again to be in your shoes, to have, like you said, loving parents that you knew and were probably excited about, that were going to kind of be your forever family, new family. And but then also knowing that also means, um if my sister isn't part of this, or my other sister or my other brother is like, yeah, I can't imagine what that felt like. So yeah. But you're I think you're always sort of positively reframe a lot of hard things and stuff like that. And yeah. So, but the cool thing is, we've really been intentional about keeping relationships intact. We know some of the other
Oh yeah.
families, all the families involved, and you've even gotten to know your biological mom a little bit in the last year
Hmm.
or so. So yeah, so we've definitely tried to connect you with your siblings, because that's vital,
Oh
important.
yeah. I've seen all of them recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen every single one. There is one sibling, but I didn't know him like at all throughout my whole entire
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So he kind of a ghost anyway, so I don't
Yeah.
have any connection to him. But other than that,
Sure.
I've met with all other siblings.
Well, maybe someday. You never know. So,
Yeah.
um, okay. So, talk about what what it was like to have two white parents. I mean, or still is like, or I mean, just maybe sort of how that started. I mean, you're going to be adopted. You already know us. You, Jess has a story of, I think you called her mom even before she, right, was your
Yeah.
mom, in a way, and so there was already like this bonding and there. But still, with that being said, like, to have two parents then that don't look like you, and I mean, what was that? Do you have memories around that, or like what you felt about that, or?
I was perfectly fine. I was perfectly
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine. I mean, like it wasn't any different for me. I would say one thing is because me and Jay both have said this. Uh, you are like surrounded by white people a lot though. So it's like it's
Yeah.
funny when like you see how different in a way like black people act sometimes, because it's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit different. It's not that big like of a difference, but like it's just like you see black people acting this way sometimes and white people acting this way, but then again it's not that strange for me because I mean like y'all are friends like Mr. Iran and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing and they're black too. So I mean that kind of like help
Mm-hmm.
y'all really do have a mixed group of
Yeah.
friends that are like
Yeah.
all different races and all of that. So that really didn't affect me that much. What does affect me though is like well not like in a bad way. It's just like funny little things. It's like my siblings, right? Since they're white, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want like y'all are gonna say this is weird,
Yeah.
cause but I'm a very insecure guy. I don't want anyone thinking I'm dating my sister. That was a major thing for me. I was like, no,
I would.
no,
I hear you.
that no. And then Dakota, I don't want anyone thinking
Uh-oh.
that I like stole him or something. But that's just my insecurities. But like other than that, and those are it's just kind of funny. It's funny to me because like I haven't had anything like that ever happen though. But it's just like it's like a an older looking black 18-year-old, but most kids think I'm 27 for some reason,
Man.
and a little white boy. But it ain't those times anymore. It's just my own insecurities, to be honest. So, yeah.
Well, well, okay, first of all, I mean, I can, that is some really good stuff you just shared there. One, like having like your sister. Well, because the other part is, yes, we're white parents, but then you have, three, white, siblings. And then your brother Jay, who's African American, that we've adopted as well. So, but like, it's so like you don't want other people to think that you're dating your sister, which also I get because you want to like be available, right? To people. I mean, I remember like growing up, I was 2 years apart from my sister, and so there was a part of like, I mean, if you go to the mall and you're like, wanting to, hey, I mean, I might meet someone or at the lake or whatever. I mean, you don't, if you're kind of near an age to a same, opposite sex sibling. I mean, you kind of there, depending where you're at, you might want some distance there just so people don't think that, right? And then,
Mm-hmm.
it is funny though. Well, not funny actually. It's really serious to think about what you said too with your younger brother. That that you don't this idea that you feel like people might assume you did you say kidnapped him or
Kidnap, just like I don't know.
yeah
It's just like because
yeah
sometimes even that mom's like get him right, but he's screaming and kicking right.
yeah
So it's some black man picking up a white kid
yeah
over here screaming, kicking,
yeah
yelling, and
yeah
also you don't know. Little kids always trying to disown you for some reason. They're like, "Yeah, this
yeah
my little brother. I'm not your little brother." Yeah, stuff
yeah
like that. It's just like you never know with him.
yeah
He could he does stuff. It's
yeah
just
no that's but you're being real too. I mean, you're just straight being real. I mean, that's also like another reality of like the world of like we have a podcast, a foster care podcast with the work I do with America's Kids Belong. And one of our first episodes, we interviewed an African American dad who's fostered and adopted, and he had, I think it was two white sons. And many people are used to seeing maybe white parents or assume they're foster parents or something with African American kids. But when the paradigm is flipped and you've got a black dad and then two, I mean, the amount of like, I mean, not everyone was like this at all, and many people were like incredibly loving and welcoming to him. But there were people that would give him looks or wonder like, and I mean that's a different experience. That's many times unfair that maybe white people wouldn't have that same reaction. So yeah, I mean, you're just or to them, I mean, in that role. So some of it is like you're just being real about the world and um, you know misconceptions or stereotypes or in some cases just straight up racism. So yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, thanks for just being honest about all that. That's like real stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah. So as we kind of wind down this sort of just kind of talking about ourselves together and anything, do you have a favorite trip that the family has taken?
Oh, definitely. It has to be Honduras. We went to Honduras on a
Ah,
mission trip. It was very, uh, it was very, very fun. I can't believe I actually forgot her name, but there was a girl down there, and she called me Boombox. She said I was very, very loud, and she called me Boombox because I could not remember her
boombox.
name. I could not. She's like, it was Havana.
Okay,
Yeah, it was like
that sounds
Havana,
like
right?
maybe
And
a
she was like,
Honduran
I could
name.
not remember her name. So
Yep.
she ended up calling me Boombox for the whole time. But like, I remember her. I remember the food was good, though I never
Yeah.
tried the plantains. Uh,
Oh, dude, you missed one of the best things then.
but like we have bananas, so why do we need plantains? Is my thing. I was used to a banana. I didn't know if plantains were just bigger bananas or not, but I wasn't gonna find that out. But I
Well,
mean,
it's like we have cake, so why do we need cheesecake? I mean, don't aren't there different or
I
like
guess, yeah, I guess
I
you
mean,
could
I
say
don't
that.
know. A good you got a good plantain boy on that's so well with that being said, you're actually headed to next door to Honduras, Nicaragua, in what, next month?
I was going to. It got canceled though. But we're still gonna get down there. But yes, soon, sometime soon. It
It
got
got
canceled, but soon,
canceled. I'm
sometime I'm going.
finding this out in a podcast recording with you.
Yes, I was
When did you
sorry.
learn
I told you I
this?
was tired, huh? This
When did
morning.
you Oh my
This morning.
gosh. So mom doesn't know this. Should we
No,
wait? Should we wait till this podcast is released and let mom just listen and hear that and go, "Oh my jaw drop."
I think that will actually make her mad at me for like, she doesn't like when I don't tell her
She
stuff.
doesn't, but you and me are kind of planning this together. Like you're an accomplice
But
to
that
my
doesn't help you
plan.
either,
So,
Dad. You get in
well,
trouble
you're
too.
right. Yeah, I think that's a big problem for both of us. You're right. I was
We would
thinking about
both be in
that for
trouble.
we'd both be in big trouble, but there's still something about kind of funny that mom hears that on a podcast with you. Huh. Well, yeah, I think you're making a wise call there. That is crazy. Okay, so you're not going to Nicaragua. Just learn that. Okay. So, well, in the future though, maybe. So,
In the future.
okay. All right. So, um, that kind of winds down anything I had planned to talk about in this beginning part. Anything you want to say about our family or any of that stuff before we move on to talk more about your life?
I mean, I pretty much said all of it. I mean, I would just say like, if you are adopted, don't worry about it. I mean, parents are gonna be parents. You're gonna get mad at them. They're gonna get mad at
Mm-hmm.
you, probably because you did something wrong. But I mean, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, hey, you threw out a tip there. Threw out some advice. Dre's just dropping advice now. But that's what you do. Like you have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of yeah, just good thoughts, and you were probably the most imaginative person I know. You have a very unique way of seeing the world, seeing a lot of circumstances, and that's just really cool. So definitely probably get some of that flavor as we keep talking.
Yeah.
All right, Dre. So you're 18. You just graduated high school. Um, talk a little about your interests and passions currently.
Um. So, well, that's a big thing. I'm passionate about a lot of things, right? But as of right now, I'm doing some internships. So I'm doing one with a youth pastor and a pastor, two different
Mm-hmm.
churches. But yeah, I'm thinking of going into ministry is like a big thing. But
Mm-hmm.
my other passions, other than God's like my main passion, but my other passions include anime, watching some anime. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I love writing stories and also drawing. I'm not good, but I like it. Uh, you probably find me gaming too a lot, a little bit, a little
Yeah,
lot.
you
Yeah,
you
maybe. I
dab
don't
you
know.
dabble in the controllers and the screens. Yep.
Yeah.
What's your favorite game right now? And is
Fortnite.
there
It
going to be
probably has to be
another
Fortnite.
admission? Okay, Fortnite. I was going to be like, how many new admissions of things are we going to hear on this podcast? I was like, but I know that one. So yeah,
Yeah. Though
cool.
my
Yeah,
favorite game would have been Halo. It would have been Halo.
mm-hmm.
I would have to say Fortnite because I have right now and I haven't played Halo in so
Right.
long. But it used to be
Yeah,
Halo.
gotcha. Okay. So, and then you're kind of in a unique place of like you were gonna go to college, or you really, had an awesome ACT score, and like, and you may pursue that still, but right now you decided to do a gap year. Talk a little about that and what you're kind of doing. Well, you already did. You talked about your internship, stuff like that. But what does this next at least year kind of hold in this sort of gap time?
Well, initially I took the gap year because I couldn't decide whether to go for ministry or graphic design or media or psychology. That's what my mom wants me
Mm-hmm.
to dig into because,
Mm-hmm.
well, I kind of like it. But yeah, I took the gap year just because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I'm not one to waste money
Mm-hmm.
that on, well, at least on
Yeah.
school. I wouldn't waste money on school. I waste a lot of money on food though. But like I'm gonna take it to see where it leads. See what God's gonna
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Give myself a little time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think that's a pretty wise route for kids that, just kind of in that limbo phase of just I kind of know, but I kind of don't, but why start just, getting student debt, or going to a place you don't know that you really want to go. So, I mean, gosh, I'm still paying on student loans and I'm 45, so yeah, but well, as you look at your life in your in your age of 18, what are some life lessons that you kind of feel like you've learned at this point in your life, or what would you say around that? Some of the lessons you've learned.
I guess like not to be too like hard on yourself is like one of the main ones. Like I have a couple issues like my people skills. I love people. Trust me, I love people. But even today at work, just see how people reacted. I'm social, but I'm not good at being social. So it's a weird little combo there. I I work with kids, right? But I'm terrible at remembering names.
Hmm.
So for a while there, I just said Holmes, and if the correct
Hmm.
kid looked at me, I would talk to him. But like I've been trying to learn their names, but it's like Holmes or Homie or. And then today I had a little thing with my coworkers. They were mad for one, or some of them were, because I did not know their names. But we're in pairs and groups and stuff, so I don't speak to everyone. So I've only learned a couple of names. So I would say just don't be hard on yourself. You're gonna have a few little awkward things. Like some people actually just can't hang out with people because they're just not social. And then
Hmm.
you got the people that are too social. You can't calm down. You go go
Hmm.
go. Just be patient with yourselves. Um, I would say I did learn that dating someone takes a lot of time. I would
Hmm.
say it takes a ton of time. So I would recommend, wouldn't recommend at the same time. It depends on how busy you are. If you're a
Hmm.
phone person, you really like being on your phone. I would say you could probably go for it, but I wasn't a phone person, so it was a
Well,
little too much for
you
me.
became a phone person because
Yeah, I kind
there
of
was
did.
hours a night. But I mean, that's what you did your duty, and you were a
Yeah, that's
good
kind of why I had to go.
listening boyfriend for a long time.
Yeah,
But
it got depressing.
yeah, but
Had to
your
had to leave
advice
that
there.
life, leave it behind.
So your advice there is be really sure you want to be in a relationship. Is that your kind of takeaway? Or
Yeah, yeah.
is
Be
that
sure you want to be in a relationship and make sure you have the time for it. Because it is very time consuming, and that was my main problem. It was too time consuming for me. Like, and this is just gonna sound like because I forgot my age.
Mhm.
I was younger. No, I was like 17. I didn't. It took up so much time. I hadn't watched anime for 4 months at all. So it was like no TV at night. Throughout the day, mostly no TV. You did school, then you talked, and that was like it was a little much for me. But I might try again way later in life. So
Well, and I mean, not every person's got sort of the same demands or expectations around how much they need you to talk or whatever too. So but I mean, you learn stuff,
yeah.
and that was that's part of dating, right? Yeah, you
Mhm.
know, you know, probably are most cases are going to marry the first, one or two, who knows, three people you date. So, but yeah, so lessons or anything else on lessons?
Um, as a Christian, I will say like following God has made life a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about things. You don't have to worry about people judging you because you honestly don't have to care if they judge you at all. It's just a weight lifted off your shoulders. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I will say being a Christian might be in somewhat. It's a little bit harder than just even being like an atheist or something because you know you're being judged. You know you're being judged. You don't just go day to day letting things play out however you want them or doing whatever you want. Your choices, they have consequences, and you know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's made it so much easier because I don't get those consequences often because I'm respectful. I'm
Mm-hmm.
and it's a part of my day to day life. I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not just to get a job. Like my interviews, I act exactly the same as I do outside of them.
Mm-hmm.
But
you are who you are.
Yeah, I don't have to
Yeah.
change to get a job.
Yeah, I love that about you. You kind of are just, this is who I am. And so love it or leave it or whatever, but like, this is who you are. You don't pretend to be somebody else that you're not. And yeah, so on the one hand, I mean, it feels like, you talk about like not having much confidence, and I know you're growing in that, but then on the other hand, to be kind of comfortable, just be who you are, is confidence too. So, maybe there's, yeah, I think I see that too. So, yeah. Well, as I've already said, very proud of you, and yeah, just you, who you are, who you're becoming, the man that you are, the mountain biker that you are, the
Thanks.
Naruto
I mean,
watcher. Naruto.
yes.
How do you
No,
say it?
so he messing with me, y'all. It's Naruto. He always come in here with some
Na
Naruto. That's
na
not
na
that is not the name. That
na
is definitely not
nar
the name.
Naruto.
Naruto.
Just
It's Naruto.
Naruto.
As
Okay.
soon as I told him it was Naruto, he went Naruto, and then that's how it's been the whole entire time. He's like, "Are you watching Naruto?" I'm like, "Naruto." He's like, "Naruto."
Which is
It's
your favorite anime show?
Naruto is, yes, it's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Just clarifying. Cool. So, all right. So we're gonna do we're gonna insert a new thing in this podcast today with Dre called Rapid Fire with Dre, and then we're gonna have two closing questions in this conversation. Rapid fire is where, so Dre is gonna, I'm gonna throw out a couple scenarios each thing, and then you are gonna give a short answer on why, one over the other. All right, you ready for rapid
Okay.
fire with Dre? All right, here we go. Superheroes, Batman or Superman? Go.
That's a really hard choice. You see Batman and Superman. I mean, not Batman, Superman. Batman, Spider. Did you say Batman, Spider Man,
Superman.
or Superman?
But you can
Oh
throw in
no, never
Spider.
mind. That's an easy choice. Batman all the way. Batman's better.
Okay.
Batman has a real chance of dying. Superman, he just go out there and beat up people because he can't get destroyed. Like, what is he even doing? Like, it's not real.
Okay, so you've always been a very adamant Batman fan over
Yes.
Superman, which is what your brother loves Superman, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he does.
yeah. Okay. Paper or plastic?
Um, if we're talking about drawing, I'll go paper. But I mean, if you're talking about paper and plastic products, like a paper bag versus a plastic bag, um, I would go paper unless it's something that contains liquid, because then it just gets soggy and you can taste it like flaking off of the. It's just, yeah, it's something else. The straws like stop working.
Nice. Okay. Got some good. You really care about that one. Digital versus real life. Man, this got to be an easy
Um,
one, isn't it? Well, nah,
easy.
you're a young
No,
one.
it's not, because you see, in like I don't like playing sports games because like you can go outside and play them, right? So that's like I like that like in real life, but you can't play a game like Fortnite in real life because shooting people's bad. So
Yeah.
you definitely, in watching anime and stuff, their fight scenes are really unrealistic, but really really nice to watch. And I wouldn't want to watch that in real life. You know what I mean? That's kind of scarring. So you wouldn't want to watch that in real life, but watching it on the TV is fine. It's just fun to watch. I mean, but that's kind of it's kind of like a 50-50. I don't think any of them's really better. But I would say real life, because real life is what matters. You ain't gonna die and go to heaven in a reality TV show or something. But in real life probably is more important. But you know, you gotta love your reality, like virtual stuff. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Down the line here, Snickers or Reese's cups?
I'm gonna be so for real, like I would go Kit Kats, but since we own Snickers and Reese's,
Oh,
I would have to
okay.
go
Okay.
Reese's. I
Okay. You don't.
Maybe it's because
You're gonna go
Jay
Reese's.
liked
You
them so
hate
much.
peanut butter. You hate
I
peanut butter.
do,
How does that
which is
work?
strange. I
But
hate
you
Snickers
like.
more.
Okay. Okay.
Because you do remember you got that peanut butter sneakers, right? Or was it? Yeah, it was a peanut butter sneakers, and I did not eat it. I
Okay.
couldn't. But Reese's, because the Reese's, I mean, yeah, it's peanut butter, but it has chocolate with it, and the chocolate kind of helps. You
And
know,
the
it's not
peanut
like the
butter,
strong.
yeah, and the peanut butter inside of a Reese's cup, there it's peanut buttery tasting, but it's definitely different than peanut butter.
Yeah,
So I could kind of see, like, if you have a peanut butter cup that's really got real peanut butter, like that's very different than a Reese's cup.
it throws me off.
Um,
It makes me a little nauseous when it's like real. Because
yeah.
Joel made them. Joel made like big
Yep.
ones, and I was like, they're good, but I can taste the actual peanut butter,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
interesting. Yeah,
All right. Uh, Poodles or terriers? So a terrier, I think, was
poodles
the Wizard of Oz dog, wasn't it?
is
Some kind of
it's like the little
terrier.
one, the little
Mm-hmm.
hairy one. Which
Toto,
one looks more like Ravi? You know, like
our dog Ravi. Well, that would be, he was a cockapoo, so
some more like poodle.
poodles can get big. No, poodles can get huge.
Hmm. I think I might have to go poodle. I might have to go poodle because I like, and especially I feel like poodle is more like a rich dog. Like in turn, like not saying like only rich people have them, but like it's more like an indoor
Yeah.
dog. Like I wouldn't put a
Yeah.
poodle outside. Like and I like me a little indoor dog. Outside dogs, I mean, I love my dogs. They're outside, so I don't go out there
Yeah.
with them. But
Right, right. Okay.
yeah,
So you're going big indoor dog versus a small ankle biter.
yes.
Yeah, that's I okay. Respect that. All right, that winds up rapid fire with Dre. Our final two questions to close out um, this time with you, Dre, is what are you most proud of in your life today at 18?
The fact, my Christianity, I'm very proud of it. I mean, coming from where I came from, it takes a lot to like,
Mm-hmm.
like uphold a stand. Like, no, not saying that you have to uphold a standard, but like you're trying to. You're trying to. You're always forgiven, of course, but like you're trying to do better daily.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very proud of that, and then I'm proud of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
My personality, because I mean it could have been way worse. It really could have been. I mean, other than the whole name forgetfulness and
Mm-hmm.
just like really bad forgetfulness with names, I don't have too much. I would say
Yeah.
I dealt with my anger and my vengeance pretty well, so I'm pretty much set. I'm doing very very well. Yeah, proud of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. No, and faith is huge for our family, and just seeing how God's illuminated our lives and given us hope in places that others may not have, and there's also kind of that freedom to just know He loves us for who we are, and that's good, good lesson. So, all right, final question, Dre. Where do you find your inspiration and spark for life?
You're gonna find this a little redundant, but the
It's all
Bible
good.
and God and
Mm-hmm.
and the people I'm around. I'm a real big people person. I love the people I'm around. Aunts, uncles, they've all helped me. Uh, you know, they most of them would probably point back to the Bible in some way, shape, or form. I mean, most
Mm-hmm.
like I'm happy. Most of my family's Christian. Most. I
Mm-hmm.
can't think of too many that I would know that are not Christians, especially in my adopted family. My like I don't know why I want to say. Wait, what is it? Biological? Is that it? The biological family? There's
Mm-hmm.
a little. I wouldn't say there's that much of a Chris like connection to God from most of them, but you know,
Well, and
it's
you haven't really gotten to know many of them yet either. So it's
yeah,
hard, I guess from what yeah, but for sure. Yeah. So, again, you're kind of going back to your faith, the Bible, um, it kind of people, and you're huge into your family and the influence. You got a lot of uncles, right? That have kind of mentored and inspired you, and it's been reciprocal. They're all inspired by who you are too. So, yeah. Any closing words, Trey, to take us out?
Okay, I'm sorry. It's been on my mind this whole entire time. When y'all saw me like moving my hand and stuff, there was a fly. It landed on my glasses right next to my eye, and I ignored it, because I'm on camera. I want to respect that, right? But then it started burning, right? So I'm guessing it's probably drilling into my head or something. I don't know why I was doing that, but whatever it did, it started burning. So I moved my hand to go shoot away, and then it flashed right in front of my face, and that's why I said, bah! I did that, and then I know I'm still a little insecure, so I just wanted to make sure people know the reason I was.
The funny thing is, I'm looking at you. I never noticed that at all. A, I can't see your hands. B, I don't know that anyone would have known that you were battling a killer fly doing a podcast that's burrowing into your face. You said
it was burning. Yes, it started. I was gonna let it go, but it did something. It's like it deserves to go now. I mean,
you were courageously battling this, and no one would have known. And then at the end here, you just you kind of opened the curtain and said, "This is what's going on."
Pretty much, yes.
So, Dre, you get the award for facing the most adversity so far in this. That's a rad podcast. So, way to battle that fly and hang in there through the interview.
Thanks.
All right. So, you need any first aid, do you think, or are you good?
No, I'm good. I'm going to check on the fly, though. Okay. I think I got him. I think so. Deal.
All right. It's been great chatting with you on the podcast, Trey.
It was amazing. It was pretty fun, yeah.
Cool.
I enjoyed it.
Hope you enjoyed the episode today. Check out the show notes for any links or resources shared in the episode. If you enjoy the podcast, it would be really appreciated if you'd subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with friends. May we all remember these words from writer Mary Oliver. Instructions for living a life. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it.